It was an epic soccer showdown. Today's soccer matches were nothing short of epic, with teams battling it out on the field and showcasing their talents in an unforgettable display of athleticism and skill. AI wrote that for me.
Hey, it worked better than our intros.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it.
Well, thank you, AI, for that. Appreciate it. But what a day. I mean, I know we say this a lot, but did we really, did everyone think it was going to be USA versus Brazil for the gold medal match? I mean, who had that on? Who predicted that? I would like to see the fantasy football list for that.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, it was crazy.
I'm pumped. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but what a day. Exciting day. Today was the day that, all four of these teams were either going to play for a gold medal or a bronze medal, and that was decided today. But I mean, the whole tournament, has been exciting, but also because the pressure these athletes are under as well. So little turnaround, such small squads, injuries, heat, exhaustion, injuries. So, I mean, I think they're running on adrenaline at this point. Julie Foudy talked about it. They're not going to expand the rosters, apparently because of money. They don't have the money. I believe that's what she said. And also, they use the overs. They use the regular national team squad in the Olympics. The men use the U23s. Apparently, maybe in 2032, there'll be women's U23s instead of the national squad. So we'll see if that happens. I mean, that's so far in the future in my head that it's not even a thing right now. I don't even know where to start here. Sara's wife saved the USA, Sara.
I literally thought you were talking about you. I go, wow, you're a goalie now too?
Yeah.
Score. Yeah. Listen, I mean, she just keeps getting better and better in my eyes, and don't even try to tell me she's not, because I won't accept it.
And it's not luck. A lot of people say maybe she gets lucky. It's all talent. It's all, she just...
skill.
Yes. She sees the ball. I mean, but we'll start out from the news we heard this morning. We heard Alexandra POPP and Lea Schüller were both out of this game. When I heard that, I was shocked. I was in disbelief. I was like, how does this keep happening to Poppy? Because remember last year at the World Cup, she was out. I was almost too stunned to speak, because those are two of their most important players out there. And I felt bad for Germany. Obviously we're Germany fans, but I felt so bad for them. And I also felt like I don't want to go out there and beat them because they're out their two best players practically, and so I felt bad. I mean, I even told Sara the news and she was shocked. And then also I noticed they were wearing red shorts. I don't think I've ever seen them wear red shorts. I saw a tweet about it. Maybe I'll put that on the screen. That them wearing red shorts, period friendly attire. Yeah. I loved it. I mean, I know there's kind of controversy about white shorts to begin with in soccer, but I loved it. I mean, they won and they look great,
Oh, the red shorts could be the good luck.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think they should always play in red shorts. Love it. Very period friendly. So, yeah.
I will say they went out there and everyone looked tired. Both teams looked tired. Both teams, it was survival mode. And that's also when injuries happen, You don't want to see anyone get injured, but that's a lot of times when injuries happen. But it was a nervy first half, no score in the first half, but it was. And also, we're not even going to talk much about the game, just because it's more about the result at this point. But you know what they don't do in soccer that Sara and I have been watching a lot of the events, Olympic events. A lot of the refs, they turn on their mics so you can hear what the refs are saying. In rugby, you could hear what they were talking about, the issues, everything. And then in handball, also you could hear the refs. Why? Tell us down below why they don't do that for soccer, at least for the Olympics, because I absolutely love it. I think it's so insightful.
And half the time we're rooting for the refs. I'm just joking. I don't know why, but there's nothing better than seeing an interaction between a ref and a player, just because it's like dynamic, like enemies, but like not really enemies, but I want to hear when the refs are yelling at the players what they're saying, what rules they're breaking, and I want to hear them get yelled at. Not honestly. I'm just kidding.
Not just the players to the refs, but the refs speaking to each other as well. that interaction. So I know we've talked a lot about that, but I love it. I don't know why the other sports now. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there's, every sport is different. I get that, but I would love, at least just for the Olympics. How about making the mics live for the Olympics, but not other tournaments? I could see. Then the first half, it was physical. I think Germany was playing a pretty physical game out there. That's one thing over the USA. They definitely have. They have more physicality, and a lot of teams actually, have a lot more physicality than the U.S. A lot of teams use their bodies a lot more than the U.S. But it seemed like some fans thought that Germany was getting away with tackles or bodying U.S. players. I see this one comment here. It says, "The ref is trash. Germany is steamrolling our players left and right. Someone's going to get hurt." I saw that a few times. It said, hey, there was a foul here. Germany's just kind of knocking over the players. What's going on? They're playing really tough. This ref needs to get Germany under control. It's ridiculous. So a lot of people in the first half thought the Germany just kind of steamrolling the U.S. players. Then by the end of the game, I saw comments saying the reason why U.S. won was because of the ref. I see this comment here that says, referee was player number 12, player from the U.S. So the second half was not as physical for Germany as the first half, but then I saw that people by the second half thought that the ref was in the IOC for the U.S. So Germany was playing pretty tough the first half. I mean, yeah. But I mean, no scoring. And I think there was not a lot of scoring because they were tired. But also both goalies were playing pretty well. I can't remember how many shots, if any, were saved in particular. I remember a couple in the second half more so than the first half. But no scoring. I mean, there was no scoring. Then in the we're skipping ahead, but I mean, in the 85th minute, there was an Offsides goal. That's the kind of game it was. Was it the most exciting? Were the players pretty tired? Yes. And to be honest, I did not want it to go to extra time. I like extra time. I didn't want it to go to shootout. I wanted someone to score for the players, but also just because, I don't know, like I felt like...
Specifically, I wanted the U.S. to score because, wanted to win. Love you, Germany, but, toward the end, it was only a matter of time, that the U.S. scored, and they did, and it was mwah.
They did. Going into extra time, something very significant happened. Emma did some subs, and I don't exactly know what time she did all her subs. That's not really the point of this, but the point that I want to talk about is she actually subbed off Lindsey Horan for Corbin Albert. And why that's significant, she subbed off the captain. She subbed off Lindsey Horan, which is kind of the mainstay. She doesn't really sub off Lindsey Horan, especially in a situation like that in a knockout round. But she decided to sub her out, A, because she wanted fresh legs, B, because she wanted to try something tactically different at that point. And when she subbed her out, the commentator said that was a hard decision, but it was the right decision. And Lindsey, I think looking back, obviously it was the right decision. But people noticed once Lindsey Horan got subbed out, I mean, they changed the formation a bit and the tactics, and it really worked. Yes, Germany was tired, but that's when they scored. They scored when not only Lindsey went out, but I saw a tweet says Naomi Gurman got the captain's armband, and they scored. There is a lot of, I don't want to say hate about Lindsey Horan, but I think a lot of people are kind of turned off from her for two reasons. One, because I think the whole USA fans are dumb thing. But
she turned French.
Yeah. But even before that, I think people saw this thing where they saw her being hyped up so much, which kind of haven't translated to international play recently. International play is what Americans judge on because that's what we see of Lindsey. Because most people say when she plays for Lyon, she plays great. Americans see her playing with the U.S. national team, and they don't see it translated quite as well, at least recently. And I think people said, why are we hyping her up with the results that we're getting? And that might go along with her getting kind of salty about USA fans not understanding soccer like the world, because I hear a lot of analysis. What Lindsey Horan does is like no one else on the team. Lindsey Horan is great. Lindsey Horan can do things that so many other players can't do. But I think a lot of fans, when they don't see results and then they see Lindsey out and gets tired a lot. Lindsey has a lot of turnovers. I saw a funny meme about her turnovers. But when you're the captain and when you're the person that always plays, I think you do get the criticism. But they call them Lindsey Horan haters. I don't know enough about football to have an analysis of her. But I do know that when people aren't seeing results, I keep seeing the thing. When Sam Mewis was on the field, Lindsey Horan was great. Without Sam Mewis, Lindsey Horan's not great. But it's the style of soccer they're playing as well. And I don't call it a European style soccer. There was also a free kick that Lindsey kicked right into Rose. And people said, this is Lindsey Horan. But I think she gets a lot of hate. However, with being the captain and being, and her personality, after the USA thing, I think that just turned off a lot of extra people. She was getting the hate before that. That really turned off the people. But she's one of the most physical players US have. The US don't have a lot of physical kind of, I don't know the word, they don't have like a lot of physical kind of rough and tumble type of players like Lindsey Horan is. And so they need her.
Yeah, you need somebody to get bodied. Lindsey's your person. She'll body someone.
But I do find it interesting. As soon as she did get subbed off, they scored. Believe me, it wasn't. They changed the tactics. And if Vlatko was coaching the same team, I honestly don't think the result would have been the same because he was too late to pull triggers. Okay, I talked a lot about that situation. But in the 95th minute, this was an extra time. SOPHIA SMITH scored a beauty, and we're Ann Catherine fans, but she juked her out, and Ann Catherine did make a bit of a mistake the way she came out and didn't save it, but that goal was all SOPHIA SMITH. It was amazing. We screamed.
What a beautiful goal.
Yeah, we were screaming, and I knew that, in my heart, I knew that was it, because and I'll tell you this, even if Germany scored a goal at that point, USA was not losing in PKs. After last year's debacle of PKs, that was not going to happen to the U.S. again, 100%. So at that point, I had no doubt U.S. was not going to win. But at last 15 minutes of nervy soccer, because the last 20 minutes, because it's 30 minutes of extra time. That was the first part of the extra time. They go in the second half. Nervy minutes. There were some close calls, but the closest of them all is Alyssa's left foot.
Oh, they should make that into an actual golden boot. They need a cast of that beautiful golden foot.
Yep. That if her foot wasn't there, it would have been a different story. Now, going back to what I just said, though, if they went to PKs, USA was still winning. Even though I did see a thing on Twitter that said Germany would have dominated PKs. I don't think so. There's no way SOPHIA SMITH wasn't in a PK. I mean, we didn't even have to get there, but Alyssa's foot saved the game, saved the day. That's Sara's wife. And I even said that.
Don't say that.
And I even said this. If Alyssa Nair did not get hurt in the Olympics last year, 3 years ago, technically, that could have been a different game too at the Olympics 3 years ago, because remember she got hurt and she was on the crutches, but it was Alyssa, and I heard some people kind of dogging Alyssa. Some European fans were kind of dogging Alyssa. But this is our Alyssa. She literally is the GOAT. I mean, and then at the very end, Ann Catherine actually had a good save, couple saves too. But, if your team isn't scoring goals, you can't win a game. If Germany didn't score one goal, you can't win a game. So
you also can't win a game without a goalie.
Yeah. What did everyone think? 1-0 final score. We were cheering. Like I said, USA is winning the gold. I've been saying that. I had my visions, but they are, and I'm so excited, and I guess we'll talk about this now. A lot of people, USA has been on the, I don't know, they say one of two things. USA has either been on the decline the last 4 or 5 years, or the opposite, everyone's just getting better. Some people think both of those statements are cliche. But my question also is to European fans or Canadians or whomever, people outside the USA. Now that the USA seems to be in such good form, is it kind of annoying that that we're back? Is it annoying to European fans? Because as a European fan, I would think it would be, oh gosh, the Americans were good. Now they're coming back. Now they're going to be good again. I would think it's kind of annoying to the European or the South American, whoever.
I was going to say, I know how to answer that. For me, it's not annoying because,
But put your mind into put your mind into as a European or a South American or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'd be annoyed by everything.
Yeah. No. I would be annoyed because I'm like, okay, USA, they finally, because we had, the USA kind of had that, oh, we're better than everyone attitude, not in a bad way, but kind of, that's just the way we were. But You know, we seem to get humbled a little bit in the last few years during our downturn, but, you know, it looks like they are back to their old form. Well, at least getting there. Emma Hayes, I do think people still are a little bit critical of Emma, which is fine. That's just the way sports go. But Vlatko, seeing what he did last year to what Emma did today, swapping out Lindsey, making the changes. Then, I mean, the Americans, we're back, and this stat shows it.
For the first time since 2012, the United States women's national team will be playing for an Olympic gold medal after defeating Germany 1-0 in the semifinals of the Paris Olympics on Tuesday, and it will be facing a familiar foe. In the finals on Saturday, the U.S. women's national team will face longtime rival Brazil, which trounced reigning World Cup winners Spain 4-2 in Tuesday's other semifinal.
So yeah, first time since 2012, which is crazy because you think about players like Christen Press or Sam Mewis or Lindsey Horan. They don't have gold medals. They don't have silver medals. They have the bronze they won at Tokyo, but Rio was a disaster. Tokyo was kind of disaster. All these players on this team will either be silver or gold medal winners. When so many other players, amazing players, Julie Ertz, I don't even think she was on the 2012 team. So that is kind of crazy. So Corbin Albert's going to be gold medalist, yeah. But now, bring on Saturday. But I mean, who was our opponent going to be? As we just read, it's going to be Brazil. But who had this one? I would like to see Las Vegas for these odds because I think people knew Brazil was playing well, but to beat Spain. Now, Spain did have this going against them. No team who had won the World Cup had ever followed that up with an Olympic gold medal. So history was not on their side. Also, Marta, last video we talked about, at that point she had a 1-game suspension. We didn't know if it was going to be 2. They didn't release that until literally a day before the game, so a lot of people assumed it was a 1-game suspension, but it came out that it was a 2-game suspension and she would not play for this semifinal. We knew she would play because they also would play for a bronze medal if they didn't win here, but that came out. They did appeal it. They lost the appeal, but no Marta. Also no Rafaelle because she got hurt. Remember, she left on a stretcher on the crutch. No Rafaelle. No Antonia. She was also out. So Brazil, as much as they were fighting for their lives, they had a lot going against them.
Yeah, and they definitely brought it. I mean, 4-2, wild.
Yeah, I was not anticipating this. But everyone's saying Spain has looked beatable. Going into the match, 6 minutes in, this was a pretty wild own goal. It was a horrible clearance, they're saying, and then it kind of like body bounced off of the players, and then it went off Paredes, and it went right in the goal. It shot into the goal. I've never seen a ball shoot faster into a goal, and that was it. 1-0 Brazil. We know Spain, though. Hey, Spain's 1 down, but it's Spain. Also, Jenni Hermoso did start, and we talked about it last time. Are they underusing Jenni Hermoso? Should they play her more? Should she be coming off the bench? But she started, and I was glad to see that. And she was really a bright spot for the team. She didn't score, but she had a couple chances. But 1 down already in the 6th minute. The commentators kept saying, and I agreed with this, Brazil was playing high risk, high reward soccer. They just went for it. It was like, hey, if we don't press, if we don't try to score, we're not gonna win. We have to. They were fearless out there. High risk, high reward, definitely, because they went for it.
It's like nothing to lose soccer, you know, you go all in, go for it. You're like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? We lose, but that's a 50-50-ish chance, you know?
Because the odds are against them. You know, at that point, people assume Spain's going to win. All the pressure's on Spain. There's no pressure realistically on Brazil. Realistically, all the pressure's on Spain to win. And then they really went for it. In the 40th plus 4th minute, Brazil scored again. And at that point, it could have been like 4-0 at that point, because there was a few opportunities where Brazil did not finish at all. There was about 4 or 5 goals that probably should have gotten. It easily could have been 4-0 at that point. And that was halftime. 2 down. Now, we've seen Spain come back. We still have to see Spain come back. Second half, you know, I really think the manager said, hey, we are going to not hold back on the subs. The subs came right on, and Spain just wasn't playing good. They weren't playing good. Defense was bad. They weren't scoring goals. Brazil was out. They were ready. They were ready for the fight. But there was a lot of time wasting from Brazil. A lot of times the player would go down and someone would get hurt. The crowd was booing heavily. when they would do that, because it's a part of soccer, but a lot of times people don't like those tactics of soccer. Sometimes it was justified, sometimes it was unjustified. And actually, I don't know who got hurt. Somebody got really hurt. I'll put it on the screen who got hurt, but Brazil was really into let's get hurt, let's go down, take some time. I did notice that. But 69th minute, Jenni Hermoso almost scored, but 2 minutes later, Brazil made it 3-0. And again, the defense just didn't look good from Spain. It just didn't look great. 85th minute, now here we go. Now, there was a little glimmer of hope when
Salma Pararuelo scored.
There was a glimmer of hope, and, they rallied to start the shot again. It was looking pretty bleak, but if anyone can do it, Spain could. And Alexia came in, and as soon as Alexia came in also, she sparked something. Some people thought Alexia should have come in earlier than that. But Spain fans down below, do you think Alexia should have come on earlier? What do you guys think? Because it just was kind of a mess for Spain. Then in the 90th plus 1 minute, Karolin scored. Great to see. I mean, she went one-on-one with the goalie. Yeah. And the goalie, I think it was one of the Katakoi's worst games. It was not a good game for her at all. I think it was 15 minutes of added time, which probably could have actually been more. But one last glimmer of hope. Salma scored again, but that was it. 4-2. Brazil is going to the gold medal game for the Olympics, and I was. Although I was rooting for Brazil, I don't know who I was rooting for. I think both storylines are cool,
Yeah, I think I was rooting for Brazil a little bit more. I mean, Marta and everything, and just I don't know. They played better, and it was an exciting game to watch.
Yeah, they played better. They went out there hungry, and also Marta, will she play her last game ever internationally and win a gold medal at the Olympics? I mean, that is a story. I mean,
yeah, they're definitely gonna make movies about this, about Marta. What a way to go out if that happens.
The last game ever internationally in your career, and also Orlando Pride is playing really well. What if she wins the gold medal and then she wins the championship for Orlando Pride?
Oh my gosh, I'll just pass out for her.
But also, when she first played her first game in 2004, her 20-year anniversary is now going for the gold medal.
Wow, she must have been an absolute baby.
Yeah, I know. And 20 years ago, she would have been 18. So cool for her. I'm happy. Obviously, we are rooting for the United States. But if Brazil were to win, I would be happy for them, No,
I was going to say that, yes, of course, I am rooting for the U.S. wholeheartedly. But I would not be sad if Brazil won. It would kind of be exciting, you know. But USA are winning, of course.
I will say, I like Brazil, but some of their tactics are a bit frustrating. And that's just part of soccer. I'm not saying they're good, they're bad, whatever. They are frustrating. Kind of like the more time wasting going down. I don't think United States does it enough as they could do it, actually. But Brazil has kind of mastered that part of soccer where let's go down a little bit more, let's waste a little time. They do it a little more. So that would frustrate me as an American fan, but that's, like I said, part of soccer. But yeah, I mean, we're rooting for USA. I'm rooting for Marta, but that Brazilian team was just fearless today. I don't know if Antonia is going to play on Saturday. I don't know if Rafaelle is going to play. We know Marta's going to play. But so excited. Congrats. The bronze medal match will be exciting too. It's going to be Spain versus Germany. That's going to be a tough match. So what does everyone think? My biggest question I asked earlier, are international fans annoyed America's back? And when I say America's back, this is going to be our first time playing for a championship since 2019 in a gold medal match. So this could be one and done. I don't know. But I'm just saying, the team looks so good. We haven't seen Jaden Shaw at all. She has been injured. But is international fans annoyed that America's back? Or they're kind of like, okay, we're ready for the competition. It could go either way. I'm excited. And I will say, if Emma Hayes gets this gold medal, gosh, the flex on that. Oh, I come in.
Yeah, that's Iconic.
Yeah. Also, I thought she looked rather cute with her little jacket. I think that is the perfect outfit. She kind of has her...
Yeah, High School Musical vibes. That's where I was seeing the memes online.
It was such a cute jacket. I think that's a perfect outfit for her. She could not wear... She wears more of like a outfit underneath and then a cute jacket. I think that's perfect.
Ugh, she's such a wildcat.
Very much so.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Questions, comments down below. What did everyone think? Who do you have in the finals? We have America, but we would be happy if Brazil won. Go Marta. And she's an icon. And, And
I'm learning Portuguese for her.
No, I'm just kidding. There's on Duolingo.
Not for her, just in general.
And then also, also player of the match, everyone's saying Naomi Girma is just... Emma Hayes, I saw a quote saying she has never seen a better defender in her life. I believe that was the quote, or I don't know if it was. I believe that was the quote. She just, it's magical, and USA is so lucky to have her. She's amazing. But what do everyone think? Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.